Big cities are an extraordinary thing. The buildings, people, and culture are so cool to experience. There are different sounds everywhere you go. The subways underneath your feet and the birds chirping in the trees above your head. The different smells of food trucks as you pass by are mouth-watering. New York is the best large city. Today I'm going to explain why New York is the best. First, we will examine all there is to do there. Then we will talk about the cool buildings. Lastly, I will tell you about all the memories I have made there. We will begin by examining all of the cool things there are to do in New York. New York is the best large city because there is so much to do there. According to Melissa Liebling Goldberg and Alex Erdkin in the article 26 Best Things to Do Well in New York, Central Park is a main attraction. Other attractions include Whitney Museum of Art, 9/11 Memorial and Museum, Coney Island, Broadway, Brooklyn Bridge, and the Rockefeller Center. This is just a tiny list of things to do there. Some things I think about are shopping, ice skating, and the Statue of Liberty. Now that we have discussed a list of things to do well in New York City, we will examine all of the intriguing buildings that take up the majority of the city. According to Rachel McRae in the article, Top 10 Tallest Buildings in New York City as of 2022, there are over 6,400 high-rise buildings in New York City. One of the tallest buildings in New York is the Central Park Tower. It is amazing. I have seen it in real life. This building is 1,550 feet tall. We all have heard of the Empire State Building. It stands at 1,250 feet tall. Rockefeller Center is about in the middle of the city. It is a beautiful building that has a looking glass at the top to look over the city. It is also where part of the movie Home Alone: Lost in New York was filmed. There are many buildings in New York that required so much work and time to build. It is fascinating to think about. Now that we have talked about the buildings in New York, I will end by discussing personal memories that I have obtained there. New York is the best large city because I have made so many memories while visiting. I have been to New York City twice, once in 2016 and once this year in December. My New York trips are by far my favorite trips I have ever been on. I love big cities. While I was there, I went to the 9/11 Memorial. To see the remains of the building and all of the names of those who died was very eye-opening. New York also has a lot of history involved in its development. I also went ice skating and walked through Central Park with my mom and friends. It was very beautiful for being in a big city. The trees were huge and the scenery was stunning. It definitely didn't feel like you were in one of the biggest cities in the world. Another thing I did was go to the Broadway musical Wicked. It was so cool to see all of the actors and singers. They are extremely talented. The inside of the theater was so fancy and it made me feel like I traveled back in time. Today we have talked about the cool things to do well in New York, the fascinating buildings, and my personal experiences. While there are many beautiful large cities in the world, New York tops them all. New York has so many people and activities to experience. I feel that New York is a place that everyone should travel to at least once in their lifetime.